want to be here, neither do we. That's why we call it the obligatory. We talk about farts, food, Mike's kids, $5,000 beds, girls, comedy, and Kermit's butthole. And most importantly, they talk about current events with perfect accuracy.
Perfectly.
I'm just kidding. You remember that one time that they spent the entire episode talking about Vice President John McClane?
Fake news.
Yeah, maybe the facts
Never
aren't
happened.
right, but here's the obligatory podcast with Kermit and Myke.
What's going on, everybody? It's episode 53 of the Obligatory Podcast with myself, Kermit, and
me, Mike.
That's right, baby. As always, you can find us on iTunes, Instagram, Facebook. We always put all the videos up on YouTube,
Podbean, Spotify,
all that. And let's get into it. What's going on? What's new? Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, man, good to see you. How was your,
Oh,
been,
yeah.
what'd we do?
Good to see you. I saw you last night.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as our listeners are concerned, I haven't seen you since, last week when we recorded.
Oh, okay, the illusion that
Because we got to catch up. We got to catch them up. We're all caught up.
We're all caught up.
So let's see. I think last week we were heading out. It was Valentines was Thursday, right? Last Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how'd it work out? Because from the sound of it, when I talked to you and asked you what you were doing for Valentine's, it sounded like you were setting her up for a big disappointment.
I was crushing puss, bro.
Uh-huh. You guys go out? You do anything? What'd you do? You got her anything? Or she worked, right?
Oh, yeah. That would have we had to make the illusion. I told you I was crushing it, and then you said she went to work.
Yeah, so you were crushing it by yourself. That's all. But as long as you were thinking of her, your heart was in the right place.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. So she ended up working?
Nah, she worked.
So you didn't do anything? Did you make it up over the weekend? Did you go out? You do a dinner? Or...
Yeah, man, we did dinner and all that stuff. We don't go out.
Did you do like a special dinner, or did you do like the dinner you were going to do anyway? If it wasn't
we do the dinner that we like.
Oh, yeah? What'd you do?
We go eat at Hawkers. You ever eat at Hawkers?
What's that?
It's a Japanese fusion tapas.
What is
delicious?
Fusion? Yeah,
Like-
what's that mean when they throw that in a
Like they
restaurant?
pretty much like you can order chicken wings
Mm-hmm.
and Chinese food at the same time.
Ah, so it's a buffet.
It's not a buffet. It's tapas.
What's tapas?
So you order like little plates and you pretty much just build up. Like it's like little like appetizers. It's all appetizers.
So it's like overpriced appetizers?
It's not overpriced. That's why we like it.
How much?
Like
What are
maybe
we
like
looking?
$5, $6 plates.
Oh, okay. So you like really splurged. You went all out on Valentine's Day here. Did
Hey.
you have to get reservations for your baby appetizer plates?
No,
You guys are like the only ones in the restaurant.
no, it's delicious, and you get a bib, so it
Uh-huh.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, wait until you find out half off appetizers at Applebee's. You're going to be in a whole nother
Yeah, but I
world.
don't want diarrhea either.
Tapas sounds like something that gives
It-
you diarrhea. It sounds like you go to the doctor and you're like, I've had the shits all week, and they're like, we got the test back. It's tapas. Oh no, is it bad? Well, it looks like you're at fusion level. So
First off, it's delicious. I love Hawkers.
you never take me. You never take me anywhere. You're
You got
embarrassed to
horrible
be
taste.
seen with me in public.
No, not embarrassing. You don't have class.
I don't have class. You've met me at a weird point in my life. I stopped eating, or I'm stopped, eating a lot of the crap I used to. So I don't know anything about good food or tasty stuff.
You think Chipotle is good food?
No, I hate Chipotle.
Okay.
Chipotle's. I do think Pollo Tropical is healthy.
You think Pollo Tropical is like official, authentic Hispanic food, don't you?
No, I said none of that.
I'm just making sure.
I've said Pollo Tropical is the Hispanic food, with Olive Garden is Italian.
Okay,
you know?
as long
Yeah.
as you know.
No, but I've taken your advice. Like now when I go Pollo Tropical, I'm getting like the grilled chicken, and then I get the brown rice, which I love the yellow rice, but you're like, yellow rice is horrible. It's probably the worst one you can pick.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the brown rice. And then I started eating black beans, which I was totally against before I started working out and trying to get healthy. And I'm like, all right, I'll eat them because you say they're good fuel,
Sure.
right? And
I read it somewhere.
I'm getting used to them. I'm not crazy about them, but they do fill you
You're
up.
not crazy about the blacks.
Beans. I see what you did there. Just
making sure.
Yeah. And then I get like the tomatoes and the corn over the top, and
That
it's
corn
actually-
does nothing.
It does nothing, but it
Just
gives
shit it right
gives
out.
it a little sweetness.
full kernels coming right out.
Full kernels. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's all it does.
Yeah.
Well, you lost weight too, right?
Yeah, I'm down like for the first time since I don't know when. I'm under 180 pounds.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's craziness for me.
Yeah, man.
So the thing I don't get
The
is
AIDS is working.
yeah, I'm glad I got it.
No.
And when I get down to the weight I want, I'll just get rid of it. That's how that works,
That's
right?
how it works. Yeah.
Do you know they used to do that with tapeworms?
What people used to eat tapeworms.
People used to
lose
eat
weight?
like tapeworms to lose weight.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I didn't know about it, but I believe it.
It's craziness. It's crazy.
Sounds like something white people would do.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Why are you looking at me like that for?
I don't know. I was going somewhere, and then you threw that in. and
I didn't throw the
forgot where
tapeworms in. You threw the tapeworms
Before the tapeworms, there was some direction I was going in. I was like,
You're talking about your weight loss. How you're
Yeah.
happy and you're down, which has been a long time.
Oh yeah, that's
See, I pay attention once in a while.
well, it's good. You won't remember any of this conversation in a week, but
Not at all.
no. You know, when we were talking about it, I went to that body weight calculator to see what I should be for my frame size, my age, and everything, height. And I gotta tell you, the weight that when I put all those numbers in, it's saying I should weigh like less than 150 at 5'6" and 42 years old.
Don't go by that.
And I'm sorry, but me at 150, it would be like Crypt Keeper dude scary. Like I don't know.
Because that public, like I did what's the thing at the Publix?
The blood pressure thing.
Yeah, that thing tells me I'm overweight, obese, and like my blood.
And ugly.
It
You're like, wait a minute, how do you even know
It
that
doesn't say
from
that.
just checking my...
Yeah.
What
Takes
you
a
mean?
photo and goes, ugh.
It says ugly, bad in bed. Whoa. You just chill out here.
No, but yeah, it says I'm obese.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, F that. I don't believe in those things.
I like that. Some people take negativity and take it to heart. You get something negative and you're like, wrong.
No, if I couldn't see my crank, then I'll be like, I'm obese. I can
Yeah.
see my crank. when I
Isn't
look
that
down.
truthfully the definition of if you really need to work out? If you can stand straight up, look
Yeah.
down, not see the tip of your penis, you're probably fat.
Yeah, if your weighing disappears with the gut,
Mm-hmm.
your fupa is in the way.
And
yeah.
see, that's the problem. Having such a huge cock, I let my weight slide for so long. Because I could always look down. I'm like, it's still there.
Is that why you have so much weight on?
That's why.
That's why.
That's
Son
why.
of a
I'm like,
bitch.
I can still see 7 inches. I'm good.
We're gonna give you cock push-ups or something to lose the weight off of that cock. too much weight on that dog.
That's when you're taking those cock pics, it's the exact
Wait,
opposite.
wait.
It's the exact opposite. You know how girls take the camera and hold it up so they don't look as fat?
Right.
Yeah. You do it differently with your penis. You take it from below because you want your cock to have
You
like
want
a
the
triple chin.
undercarriage?
Yeah. No, it looks bigger from below, I guess.
Do you shave all the pubes
From
off
what
to
I
make
hear.
it look like it's more girth?
Yeah, but I wait till Tuesdays to do that because I come here and use your razor while you're sitting up. Enjoy your goatee.
No wonder it fucking smells like cottage cheese.
Right?
A little cottage cheese in there.
No, that's your workout pass.
Oh,
I walked in there. I thought you had a body chopped up. The lights were off, and all I saw was like heads and thighs and stuff in the tub. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And then I turned on the light. I'm like, it's all your sweaty ass workout gear.
It's clean.
Yeah.
I clean it. I put it in the tub to dry out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's good. It does stink.
No, I was just.
Oh, because I was like, shit.
Nah, it's fine.
I've been really trying not to let it stink.
No, it's fine. After what I did in there, it's probably gonna stink.
Oh, you took a shit in my house?
I did.
Ugh.
Where was I supposed to take it? Outside.
You're supposed to hold it, man.
I couldn't hold
Like a man.
it. Like a man. You want to talk about holding poops? We can go back in the archives and talk about you pulling over to the side of the road and shitting in people's driveways.
I shit on command, baby.
El chupacabra. So you just command to do it at 3 a.m. on the way home in some stranger's yard.
Well, that was a little bit of a blown colon, but yeah.
But you have like 5 of these instances in the past like month.
Yeah.
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 Remember?
I almost shit my pants in my own house.
Like I wish I had the technology to go back and just the first time you brought this topic of uncontrollable shits, you're like, everybody shits their pants.
They do.
No.
Yeah, don't go. Let's not go back into it. Everyone shits their pants.
Yeah, when they're babies and when they're senior citizens,
No.
not when they're in the like late 30s and everything's fine.
I almost shit my pants in my own house.
You have like 2 options.
I know. I was so lazy.
Were you into the video games?
Yeah, and then I walked the dog, and then I was like, oh, I gotta take a shit, and I tried to rush the dog to use the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
and then like I barely made it.
Ah,
I'm an adult.
supposedly. So so Valentine's Day happened, and Aiden, my 8-year-old, he's had a crush on this one girl since the beginning of the school year, and he's been playing the slow game.
Okay.
He's been doing pretty good. And then he got all excited because the day before Valentine's Day, she came up to him and asked if he would be her Valentine.
Oh, look
I'm
at
like,
that puppy love.
See that? So he decided for Valentine's this year, I had got for Christmas a book on origami and like a whole bunch of those because people
Dude.
don't know me.
I thought you were about to say something else.
Oh.
I got him a book, a Kama Sutra. I'm like,
No,
what the
no.
fuck?
No, someone got me a book on origami.
Origami is the art of
paper folding.
okay,
Okay.
making sure it's not some urban
So
dictionary.
I should just write a list of things I get for Christmas. Like, I don't know who people think I am when they get me these gifts. They're like, this seemed like something you'd be interested in. I'm like, does it?
What do you mean? Like you just get like shitty gifts
I didn't say shitty gifts. I just said gifts that don't really reflect who
that
I
you would
am.
never use?
Yeah. Like baby's mama for 1 year for my birthday. First of all, I hate getting DVDs and books as gifts. Like, I don't want to sound like, I guess not, what's the word I'm looking for? Unappreciative. But in today's technology, if you're still getting DVDs, there's something wrong with. Like, the only reason I buy a DVD is if it's a movie that I love that I'm going to watch over and over and over again.
Okay.
Other than that, you can find, would you agree you can find anything you want online? Like, we're signed up
Pretty
for the
much.
streaming services. If there's a movie I want to watch, I'll go to Amazon and be like, okay, I'll rent that today. Or, you can find whatever you want to watch nowadays. There's no reason taking up shelf space with DVDs, right? And books, it's the same thing. I like reading, but I like nonfiction. And I'm very, I like reading all those how-to books, how things are made, how things are done.
Right.
I love reading books on comedy. I love reading biographies and autobiographies of performers I enjoy, But I'm very particular. I don't care too much for fiction. I've probably read 4 or 5 fiction books, and it's probably, I'll find one I like and reread it like 5 or 6 times.
But we're talking about not comics. We're talking about books.
Yeah, I like comics.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But once again, I'm very particular. I haven't followed a comic storyline in years, but when I was a kid, I was very specific about which ones I'm like, okay, I'm going to read X-Men, but I'm not reading X Factor. And that's when they lost me, when they started doing all the crossovers. Like, you got to buy this for this. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So with my books, I'm very specific, and I'll go ahead and get what I want. And with my, movie choices, I don't need DVDs. Baby's mama 1 year for my birthday bought me this first part of the Star Wars series, and I opened it up and I was like, oh, great.
Is it a book or DVD?
The DVDs.
DVD, okay.
Yeah, like the first 3. And I was like, oh, Star Wars. And she's like, yeah, well, I heard the kids talking to you about Yoda the other day because they had seen Yoda in some commercial. And I explained to them who Yoda was. So I realized you didn't have the movies. And I'm like, yeah, that's because I'm not a Star Wars. I'm not a.
Oh, you're not even a fan.
It's not that I'm not a fan. I like Star Wars at about the same level most people like Star Wars. Like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Right.
I don't care. I can't name all the little characters and shit like that. Like, there's Luke and the other people.
You don't know what an Ewok is?
I do know what an Ewok is.
And a yup and a jup.
Nope, you lost me. I think you just made those up.
Up.
But yeah, I don't need to have those DVDs ready to. I'm not gonna sit there and watch them, And so I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Maybe the kids will enjoy it, And then Father's Day rolled around. That was my birthday. And then Father's Day rolled around, and she bought me the next 3. She's like, well,
she bought you 1, 2, and 3 then?
Yeah.
The one with
she's
Anakin
like,
Young?
She's like, well, I figured since you had the first one, she would. I'm like, okay. And then you'll never guess what I got for Christmas.
You got the recent
Yeah.
one. So you got a full collection.
Yeah, of things I'll never
Resell that shit.
I should. I can't. They're gifts.
No, it's fine. You get what? We got 2 more movies? No,
Yeah.
1 more movie.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's just like I thought I made it pretty clear the first time. And see, what I do when I do gifts for people is I'll sit there and listen to them all year round. And when they say like, oh, I like that, or oh, I need to get one of those, I'll be like, yeah, you should. And then as soon as I get like a second, I'll put a note in my phone like, so-and-so said this. So when it comes like birthday or Christmas time, I'm like, oh, here's a list of things that I've heard them say they actually want.
I guess I should do that because I don't think of that.
Rather than waiting for like Christmas and being like, I got 2 minutes. What do I need to get someone just to have something to give them?
I just let them buy it, and I'm like, oh, I was gonna get you that.
Yeah,
that's what I do,
dude. I've really embraced. I don't care if people say it's not proper or what, but I'll do gift cards all day long. I don't give a crap.
There's nothing wrong about gift cards.
Yeah. I'm
You're
like,
a psycho if you
here,
don't want gift
you
cards.
know what you want better than anyone. Go
Yeah.
get it. And you know what? If you use it to end up paying you some bills, I don't care. In the long run, it all piles up. If you use this gift card to pay your bills, that means it's freeing up some of your money to get something you want.
Oh, you don't do like the Target gift card. You do like a universal gift, not universal, but like a Visa gift card or something.
Yeah, I stopped doing the Visa gift cards because you'll pay like $7 for the gift card at some point. So with my nephew, I used to get him a gift card every year for like Toys R Us. That's not an option anymore.
Nope.
You know, but he's older now anyway. So now I just go to the bank and I take out cash and put it in an envelope with a card because I'd rather give him cash than go get like a $50 gift card and have to pay $7 because it's
fucking
on a
money
Visa.
bags over here.
Yeah. Well, dude, the nice thing about me is I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of family. Therefore, the few people I do have, I can afford to get some.
But
things.
you have like a lot of people that owe you money, so
yeah.
you're all
God
effed up.
damn it! Did you see my post the other day?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you still haven't gotten paid from your people yet?
No.
Ridiculous.
No, it is, but I also haven't loaned money out. So recently.
I don't, because everyone knows they took all your money. They don't. They
Ah.
can't ask you anymore.
Yeah. I think the meme I put was, it was that Kevin Hart face, like the fuck face he has, and it goes that face you make when you see everybody posting about all they're gonna do with their tax refunds, and your name's not on that list. And I actually had a lot of people hit me up like, dude, me too. And it's like I never understand that, and you do.
I like
because you don't loan money, right?
Wait, was the person that go, yeah, me too, the person that owes you money?
No, but one person did like it, and then call me later like, dude, do I still owe you money? I'm like,
how did you forget?
That's what people do. You don't bug them every day because you're like, oh man, they'll pay me when they get me, and then you hit that point where they actually forget they owe you money.
Dude, that's your fault.
I know.
You need to loan shark those mofos.
Mm-hmm. I'm done loaning money. I'm just a soft touch when it's a person I care about and they're in trouble and I can help. I'm like, all right, and then I am, but no more, man.
We'll see.
No more.
We'll see.
Nope. From now on, when people ask for money, I'm gonna show them a picture of my 2 kids starving and be like, dude, I already got 2 people who don't pay me back. I'm good. 3 actually.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So Valentine's Day, he was happy. He had decided to make his class like origami Valentine's. So he made like a bunch of little heart ones. But then he made one because his crush loves unicorns. So one of the things you can make is a horse. So he had his mom help him make a horse. I made one horse, and it came out okay, but it wasn't good.
Okay.
And his mom made one. It came out really perfect. And then they made a little horn for it, and he wrote to so-and-so, love Aiden. And she said at the end of the day, it was her favorite Valentine. So he sang himself up for heartache.
You're gonna say when you send your son up.
He's like me, dude. You wouldn't know this, but when I was a kid, I got into girls late. Like I was one of those. I hate girls. Like kids, Girls
Okay.
are creepy. Girls are oogie. But then when I did start liking girls, it was like one. I would like that one and obsess over that one, and then that was it. And then she would break my heart, and then I would be shot for the year, and then I'd meet someone else eventually. And like I was never that guy in high school or college that was like dating several people at once.
I wasn't playing the field either.
Yeah, I always fell in love and fell hard. And
I was an idiot.
I think that's how Aiden's gonna be, and that's gonna be a tough life for him because when you're like that and you put everything into one person, then they let you down.
It's a waste, bro.
Oh, it hurts.
It's a waste.
Meanwhile, I think Oliver, my 5-year-old, is just gonna be that one that's like, hey, there's enough of me for all you ladies.
You think he's gonna be a playboy?
Oh yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be a playboy, but he's gonna be something where when the girl comes, like, look, you just don't care about my needs. He's like, what were you saying? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, hey, you know where the big wheel is.
So
Hit
pretty
it.
much you.
Hit the. It really is funny that Aiden represents my, me up until like my early 20s, and Ollie already represents
you,
me.
Yeah,
yeah,
you, right now.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay,
just like you just tell him to do something. It's like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, that's pretty much how you treat everyone now. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny that we come into this podcast and I actually have to write notes for myself, like listen to Kermit, ask questions, so I don't steamroll you.
Do you actually do that?
I do. I don't have one this week, but like when you go home, on my desk at home, you see all our notes from previous weeks. And I got like big asterisks, like listen, because I'll go back and listen to the podcast when I'm doing the write-up and realize I was talking about something. You tried to interject something interesting, but I was still on track with what I wanted to say. And since you're like, You're like one of the toughest little guys I know.
You had to add a little guy?
Until it comes to podcasting. And then you're like, okay, I guess my views didn't matter.
But 9 out of 10, I don't have a view.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 out of 10, I just
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
oh,
So
okay.
on the 1/10 you do, I should stop and appreciate it. But it just so happens, it happens so seldomly that I'm like, all right, I'll keep talking.
Great. I got it. You're carrying the show. I got it. Is that
Well,
you?
I figure you do everything else around here.
Not really.
The least I can do is, and in all fairness, sometimes I'd look over and you're on your phone or you're playing with a light and you're like, huh, what? No.
I am not on my phone. I might be messing with the lighting and everything, but not on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true.
So Valentine's Day was good for the kid. And I actually got a call last minute, like the day after we recorded last Wednesday. I got a call from Ken Miller. He's like, hey, man, can you host the Improv this Thursday night?
Oh, I heard that cluster F.
And I was like, yeah, sure. Because, if I got to work, I got to work. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Don't have to be home for Valentine's. Don't have to do anything. And then that show, you might know more about that than me. I got a call the day of from Ken. And he was like, hey, man, something about they had some random guy booked to headline. Vince Taylor was featuring. And then Ken hits me up and he's like, hey, man, they canceled that show. They're actually just got, was it Lil Rel?
Lil Rel was supposed to be here Friday, Saturday.
Right, with his crew.
And Sunday.
Right.
There's a huge mix-up. Lil Rel came early.
Ah.
He wanted to go up on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But then he also wanted to go to the Magic game. And was it on Thursday or Friday? Well, it was a mix. I think I'm mixing up the story. But either way, he was here. No, he was here on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
They flew in another comedian for a one-nighter.
Yep.
I guess some other guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah, me too.
So
I was supposed to open.
Lil Ray did a guest spot, and apparently he was very rude towards the audience, and a lot of people left bad reviews.
So wait a minute. They still went on with that show that night?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it was bad.
Oh.
The comedian was good, but Lil Ray was it made people upset.
Was it Lil Ray or Lil Rel?
Lil Rel, whatever.
Yeah, it's funny when Ken called to say, hey, blah blah blah, it's canceled. I was like so relieved because that day it was Valentine's Day. I was rushing around. I took the verse in to get some work done. I was trying to make time for dinner with the boys because they had asked if we could go down Valentine's Day, and still had to get back over to pick up the other car and everything else. So when he called and canceled, I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
Done. And then now I'm hearing this. I'm like, all right.
It was a big cluster.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lil Rel did Friday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be here Sunday, but they messed up and they booked another show, like the Queer Queens of Comedy.
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Jeff Jones was on that show.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was not supposed to happen. That show. And then that show got messed up because they did a 4 o'clock show and they didn't book double show. They only did 4 o'clock. They didn't do a 4 and 7. It was a big, Kristen was telling me everything, and I was just like, what the hell? She's like, I don't know.
Were they supposed to do 2 shows?
Yes. But they didn't book it right.
Oh.
They didn't have any tickets. Because I guess the girls just said they'll do a 4 o'clock show, and they didn't, detail it that they're supposed to do a 7 o'clock show.
So they had no 7 o'clock
They had no
show
7
lined
o'clock
up?
show. So the girls after the show were like, hey, are we going to do we have another show? Like, what other show? You're done. Adios.
Wow. I'm pulling that up now to see what was going on over there.
Oh, you didn't look at the times?
No, because, I didn't.
It's taken down already, man. They shuffled through that.
No, I can go to the calendar and see what was there.
Oh.
Let's see. Carlos Mencia, D. Ray Davis. Okay, so, yeah. Oh, yeah, they changed the Thursday show. So Lil Rel did not headline Valentine's Day?
He was on, then he was off, then he was on, then he was off.
Because they got rid of the guy's name that I was supposed to open for. I forget his name.
Right.
But, yeah, on here they got it. And then, it looks like, they had a 4 o'clock show.
Mm-hmm. And something with Lil Rel that, I don't know if it's on Valentine's Day or on Friday, but he showed up late because he wanted to go to the Magic game.
VIP Queer Queens of Comedy.
Yeah, that
Michelle Ballon, who's from, she's from Last Comic Standing. And Poppy Champlin, and I think Jeff Jones hosted for them. But, yeah, that's weird that, why would you do a 4 o'clock show?
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know.
So Lil Rel technically could have been around for a Sunday night show.
Yes. And I think they still had to pay him. They had to pay him for Sunday, even though he didn't do Sunday. Because it was a big...
And they paid him for the guest spot Thursday?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a big mix-up.
I wonder if that's why I got bumped.
90% of the door deal.
What?
I was like, what?
He was a special event?
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, when you get a film with Sandra Bullock and you run around from a scary monster you can't see.
Oh, was that him?
Yes.
He was in Bird Box?
Yeah, he was in Bird Box.
Oh, okay.
He was also in Get Out.
Oh, okay.
And then some other movies.
Speaking of Get Out, James, John, Carmen Valone, and I did that Lobster and Laughs gig in Windermere.
Get Out.
No,
okay.
it's so we go out to Windermere. Have you ever been out to Windermere?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
really,
Richie.
really nice area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're not allowed there.
No, not at all. So we go out there, and the show is at the Windermere Town Hall, which is in the National Historical
I know where it's
Buildings
at. Yep.
thing. It's like 100 years old. I think it was built in 1922.
I DJ'd a wedding there.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you know exactly
Yep.
the stage and everything.
Yep.
It's small, but it's nice.
Small, but it's nice. Yep.
Yep. It was sold out. We're talking probably 150 people at $100 a head.
$100 a head for steak
for
and lobster.
Steak, lobster, and the entertainment of James, John, Carmen Valone, and Mike Curley. So, but that whole area out there reminded me of that garden party from Get Out. It's just got the lights and the nice little, and besides James, the only other black guy was serving food.
I was going to say, are you saying that they had slaves in Windermere?
I guarantee, we were standing outside on the porch, and one guy who was running the whole thing in his three-piece suit tells us, he's like, oh, yeah, over there is where Shaquille O'Neal lives, and over there is where Tiger Woods' wife beat the crap out of his car with a golf club. And right
Those
out,
are the facts of the town.
right. I'm like, so the only two black people you listed in this town are
Shaq
both
and
sports
Tiger.
celebrities.
Sports
I get what you're saying here.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a good show, but really, really expensive area over there. Really nice.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You went at night probably, right?
Yep.
So you didn't get to see the houses.
No, I've taken a buddy of mine who used to have a couple of jet skis. So the chain of lakes back there.
Yeah.
Like he's taking me out on the jet skis back there, and he'll be like in that Shaq's house and that so and so. I mean, they're mansions.
Oh, I know. That's
Yeah.
why I catered to them for DJing.
Yeah.
Love you guys. You guys pay good.
So yeah, it was a good show. But at one point, I just looked at James. I'm like, "You're very brave to come here," because the whole audience the median age was well into the mid 60s, early 70s. And I just looked at James. I'm like, you realize they're all looking at you, sizing you up. It was basically Get Out.
What they
And then after my show, they told me to get out. So.
they told me to get out. Jeez. They're sizing James up. What was they doing? Django. What did they
auction?
No, they didn't auction. They did that the fights. What do they call it?
Yeah. Was that Mandingo?
Mandingo fights or Mandingo fights?
Mandingo.
Look at James. He could take on two.
Mm-hmm. I ever tell you I saw Django Unchained in the theater with James John?
No.
Yeah, we were out. It was New Year's, right when Django Unchained came out. We were out in Fort Myers, another wealthier area, and we're in this matinee, and we go see Django Unchained, and there's probably like 30 other people in the theater, all older white people. And Django Unchained starts, and we realize that they don't see this as a fictional film. They're looking at this as a documentary of better times.
They keep looking at you.
Oh, you remember the good days. And so Django Unchained, if you haven't seen it, has the most usages of the N-word on film ever recorded. And that's only because we don't have Mitt Romney's original concession speech on tape. But so they do the first N-bomb, like not even a minute into the movie. And everybody just looks at James. He's the only black guy in the theater. And even though the house lights are down, I mean, James is a big guy. They saw us walk in. And they look at James, and James goes, ah! Like laughs at the N-word. So then, like a minute later, there's another N-word. He's like, "Aha!" And everybody starts loosening up. And then there's like another N-word, and people kind of giggle. And James is like, that one was uncalled for. And then it was just like the perfectly tense film for the rest of the time.
What he was saying is out loud.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that was uncalled for.
Yes. It was great.
Where was this again?
This was in Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
Yeah. Bell Tower Shop Cinema Plaza.
Got it.
And whatchamacallit, Leonardo DiCaprio was in there, and even he said the N-word like somewhere upwards of 50 or 60 times himself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, how many times do you think Mel Gibson auditioned for that role? Just like, I got this.
Yeah, he would have been a shoo-in.
Yeah. Him and Liam Neeson just auditioning.
Oh, that's right. We got two races in Hollywood again.
Just two?
Well, that are out.
Yeah.
That are out and talking about it.
Yeah, so that was a good time, man. And then, and they paid well. And the funniest thing about that is they booked me, Carmen, and James, and they were paying us all the same. And that came down to nobody wanted to close. Like, when you got three of you, you're all getting paid the same, all doing the same time. It's kind of like, yeah. So finally, I was like, fine, I'll close. You guys don't want to close, it's fine. But then James went up first, did a little bit longer than his time. They had a guest spot come in who was supposed to do 3 minutes, some guy that lived in the community. He ended up doing like 13. And then Carmen went up, did his time. But I'm getting ready to go up, and they're like, hey, just a reminder, we need to be done by like 9:15. And it's like 8:50, and Carmen's halfway through his set.
So what'd you go there? Just do a merch pitch and cut the hell off?
Basically, dude.
Hi, my name's Mike. Here's a fire wallet.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, and I've had this happen before, where you're on a showcase or something like that, and time constraints and everything, and you're going last. So all of a sudden your time keeps getting cut, and even though you're getting paid the same, there's a little part of you. And for me, it's actually a big part that gets a little upset that you don't get to do your full time, that you don't get to do your full show.
Right.
Like I did Frank Sinatra's 100th birthday celebration down in Miami at the Fontainebleau Resort. And this was like a big deal, sponsored by Jack Daniels. The mayor of Miami was there. Beautiful. The Fontainebleau Resort is where like the Rat Pack used to actually hang out in Miami.
Right.
So it's this beautiful stage. It's all these exclusive, people are in their tuxes and dining gear, and they have a full band on the show. They have like singers, like, that 20 style crooner stuff or 50 style crooner. And they have dancers and all this other stuff going on through the course of the day. I'm supposed to go on at like 8 o'clock. It's 8:30. I'm still not on. 8:45. I'm still not on. 9 o'clock. I'm not on. 9:30. I'm not on. 10 o'clock. I'm not on. And then it's a full like dinner service thing. And then they make an announcement. They're like, hey, by the way, folks, we'll be doing dessert. We have dessert tables set up in the next room. So everybody gets up to go get dessert. And then they're like, and while you're enjoying your dessert, here's the comedic styles of Mike Hurley. So the room was clearing to go into the other room to get dessert. There's no one sitting paying attention to the stage. And they're like, hey, we just need you to do like 8. And I'm like, I was supposed to do like 20. And I'm like, there's no one even I was pissed. And that show paid me $1,200.
Damn.
They paid me $1,200 to do that. And I was still pissed that I got bumped for 2 hours and going to perform for like nobody.
So you went up. They're like,
I went up.
Who brought you up?
The MC, which they made me get there. They wanted me in Miami at 4 o'clock for a sound check. So I get down there. And I tell them I need like a stool, a mic stand, and a mic.
Okay.
So they give me the mic, and they're like, go ahead, let's test your levels. Just go as loud as you're going to go, And then I'm like, okay, cool. I just need to make sure there's a mic stand and a stool out here. And they're like, yeah, no problem. So I walk out, after they bump me for like 2 hours, I walk out behind the curtain and come onto the stage, and there's no stool, there's no mic stand, there's no audience because they're all out getting dessert. And I just look at the guy. I'm like, where's my mic stand? Where's my stool? He's like, oh, man, we forgot. Just go with it.
Just go with it.
Why the fuck was I here at 4 o'clock to perform at 10:30? $1,200. That's why.
Next comedian on stage, give it up for Mike Hurley. Yeah. And he comes up. Oh, by the way, we got the band playing. Mike, go ahead and do your set. Everybody go enjoy the steaks. You hot cats, come on, dance. Come on, baby. Go ahead, Mike. Go do your comedy. Don't ignore the band.
Hey, good to see you three tonight.
Lobster special, baby.
Nah,
Go ahead.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Thank you for making me relive that. But what I'm saying is, it just the money's good, but at the same time, you get a little upset.
Your pride got hurt.
Yeah, I think that's it. A little bit of pride, a little bit of ego. You want it because you want the show to be good. You worked on your material. This is what you do, and it represents you. So when you only get a chance to go out and do like 10 minutes after waiting around since an hour before showtime, and the reason you're doing your time short is because other motherfuckers on the show went over, and you took the close position because nobody else wanted it. Oh, I don't want to close. I don't want to close. It's like,
yeah,
fine.
James Yon and Carmen Valone.
Right. Make me work less for more money. Ha! So, but it was still fun. I appreciate it. And then this weekend, let's see, Aiden, for his birthday last year, my parents had given him a archery set because he was really into Legolas from Lord of the Rings and Robin Hood and stuff like that.
Okay.
And we only used it like once. And part of the reason we only used it once is we went outside and I wasn't any good with it. And I remember, did you shoot bows and arrows when you were a kid?
I mean, I tried. I'm not good at it.
Yeah. I used to, when I was like 8, 9, 10, go in my parents' backyard, had a little bow and arrow, and the blunted tip arrows that are just for like target practice. And I remember being pretty good. And I went out with my kids and like embarrassed myself to the point where I
This recently.
This was his birthday's in June, so we went out front with the target, and I couldn't even hit anything. So I'm like, this must be a defective bow, and went back inside. And they've been bugging me to go out ever since. So I'm like, okay. So like the other day, I mowed the lawn and I took the target out, and I had gone on YouTube and I gave myself a YouTube archery tutorial,
Okay.
and I found out things about archery I never knew.
Like what there, Robin Hood?
Like number one, apparently I've been putting the arrow on the wrong side of the bow my entire life.
I don't know anything. So
Yeah, like if you're holding the bow out, you go ahead and notch the arrow,
Yeah.
right? And
it's called natch.
I think it's called knock or notch.
Well, natch.
Yeah, because
Notch
I
it.
call it a notch because it's got a notch on the arrow.
Okay.
But yeah, I've always done it like where I take the back of the arrow, I put it onto the string, and I pull back, but I'm like pinching the arrow with my thumb and finger.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it, right?
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's how you're supposed to hold it.
Basically, you put like a finger above the arrow, above the notch,
Okay.
and 2 fingers below on the string.
Like this.
Yeah, and but you don't touch the arrow.
Like a knuckle rubber.
Yeah, but you don't touch the arrow with your knuckles because you don't want any friction on the arrow itself.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the arrow goes I'm right-handed. It goes to the left side of the bow, which always seems stupid.
So I'm here. Goes
Yeah.
here?
Yeah,
The fuck?
yeah. It's the most awkward. Goes against all your nature. And I guess when you get to that professional level, they have like that thing where they have a clip that clips onto the arrow.
Okay.
And they press like a quick release type thing. But we're not at that level. But
so you and the boys went out.
me and the boys went
Had
out.
a little Robin Hood experience.
Yep. And in our front yard. And the thing I like the most is while we were doing it, that neighbor I have that never cleans up after his dog
You shot the dog.
came walking by. I would never shoot the
I
dog.
was like, Jesus Christ.
But maybe now he knows that I have projectiles that can reach him from a distance.
Here's a clip of you and the boys going out in the backyard. Hold on. Come on, boys. Let's
Robin
go.
Hood and Little John walking through the forest, laughing back and forth at what the other has to say.
Oh, come on, boys. Come on, show you.
Yeah, I was going to say, how come they got like a redneck guy singing about archers in England?
Don't
By the way, this is like one of my favorite movies.
go shoot that squirrel in the head, boy, for dinner.
Oh, please. That styrofoam target was still alive after we got done with the first day. But then we got pretty good. Aiden's actually really good. He's hitting it with a lot of power.
Of course he is. Your kid's gonna grow up to be a freaking murderer.
He's gonna be like Green Arrow, dude. He's gonna be like
Yeah.
running around.
He's
Which-
perfect. He shot that.
Can we now?
the squirrel on the
Now that
eye.
I've been shooting arrows for a couple of days because we went out again.
jeez,
We
okay.
went out again on Monday and shot some more. Now that I've been shooting arrows for a couple of days, Green Arrow is even worse arrow than ever.
You still watch that show?
I watched the first season or two.
Oh, then what? You can't really talk about it then.
It's just
It's like on season like 10 now.
it's just shitty. It's just shitty to be. It's shitty to be. Archery is not the weapon of choice for inner city battle. I'm sorry. It's
We
just
talk
not.
about Hawkeye took out like a shitload of aliens when the alien invasion happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Hawkeye's a badass.
Oh yeah. What happened? He ran out of arrows like 3 minutes in. To
Yeah,
that
and
battle.
then he you know, whatever. He left.
Yeah.
He didn't show up.
Yeah.
He survived Thanos snap. That's all that matters.
Yeah, because Thanos didn't think enough to destroy him. That's how low you fall on the Thanos. I need total control of this world. He took out Spider-Man, but Hawkeye's still around.
Spider-Man's a threat though.
So yeah, so I think we gotta do that. You guys start shooting some arrows, and I want to go out to the gun range with you.
Oh yeah, we do the gun range. I don't know about arrows.
Yeah, let's shoot some arrows.
I already told you I'm the gun range. I suck.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking you're better off with like harmless blunt arrows.
I'm just gonna take the arrow and stab the person right between that. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's
Like in Lord of the Rings where you did it.
Yep. Yep. Save so much time.
Save so much time.
Yep.
When you
Ollie
keep
hit
the arrow.
Ollie hit a bullseye though. Like a dead on bullseye. That was pretty impressive.
Your kid's growing up to be like the next John Wick.
I like it. I'm
I
happy.
like it.
I like it. I'm happy about that.
It always starts out with a tragic story though.
Yep. So let's see what we got. This week I am Carmen Valone's out of town. Unfortunately, he's got some family issues he's got to take care of. So I'm hosting the open mic at the Improv tomorrow night or Wednesday night. And then Thursday night, I'll be at Francesco's in Somerville up by the Villages doing a comedy show up there. Mike DePalma has a nice little room. So haven't been back in a while. But once again, that's a bunch of older people in the Villages. And it's like performing for your grandparents.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then let's see. Oh, you brought this up. I wasn't really paying attention to this story too much, but you seem kind of interested in the Jussie Smollett. Who's this guy? He's from.
He's an asshat.
He's from what? This show called
Empire.
Empire. Yeah. So I had heard bits and pieces of the story as it was going on, but I think you were the first one to tell me that it's looking like it was a scam.
So I don't know what his idea or like I don't know what the hell's going on. First off, he hasn't confessed yet. He's still denying it.
Deny.
Right. So he got jumped.
Mhm.
He got beat up
Like
jumped.
3 weeks ago or something.
Right. And he said there was a bunch of people wearing Trump hats.
Mhm.
And then they put a noose around him, called him a bunch of words, called him a bunch of and
Because he's a gay African American actor,
right.
right?
And they beat him up for like a Subway sandwich, which no one gets beat up for a Subway sandwich.
Let me tell you, I had Subway for lunch today, and the line was kind of long, and I almost left. So yeah, not only will I not fight someone for a Subway sandwich, if I gotta wait more than 5 minutes, I no longer want that Subway sandwich.
First off, Subway sandwich meat is not real meat. So
No, it's turkey based.
yeah, it's disgusting. I'll probably fight you for a Publix sub with
Yeah,
the boar's head meat,
mm,
the real shit.
yeah.
But for a Publix
Boar's
or
Head's
for a
good.
Subway,
Boar's Head's good, especially the roast beef. But even just the Publix brand is pretty decent.
so he got jumped for a Subway sandwich.
Yep, and I hear he was called the F word, the N
Yeah,
word,
all the words, all the words you could think of.
all the trigger words. They said this is MAGA country, and they slipped a noose over his neck, which
Right.
seemed like very highly premeditated to have just a noose ready to go. And they called him. They apparently knew him because they called him Empire, F word and N word, and this is where the story gets interesting.
So then we find out that, well, they found the two guys,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they're Nigerian or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, that's
And they're one's his personal trainer. The personal trainer or the other guy was on an episode of
One was an
Empire
extra.
as an extra.
yeah.
They're buddies.
So all of a sudden, I don't care what this went from because you hear this story and you just automatically picture two white guys, white polos, khakis, MAGA hats, and now it's two Nigerian dudes who were supposedly saying this,
Right.
and he knows them.
Yeah,
Or
and the whole reason why he did this because he thought his character was going to get written off.
the reason he allegedly did this because he hasn't confessed to it yet.
Right.
Right.
He thought his character was going to get written off on the show. So he figured, I guess, he could cause this kind of trend
Mhm.
or kind of intention
Get this
to.
support.
Yeah, get the support so they wouldn't can him.
Right.
But in the end, they
But now
fired his ass.
Now they've written him off the show.
They ran him off the show.
And I hear even the police department has stopped calling him a victim in the attack and started saying the complainant or something.
And it happened
like
in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Like I heard, like isn't Chicago like the best detectives or something like that?
Oh, I don't know anything.
Like that's what
about
I heard. That was like a rumor. Like this is one of the best police detectives out there.
I don't know anything about that.
That's what I heard. But anyway,
Yeah.
our girl had to say something about it.
Is this your girl?
That's my girl. Hold on. What she had to say? Let's see.
But they didn't put my boy cousin in a headlock. They put me in a headlock. And because I didn't give out a statement,
Hold up.
they put out a statement claiming that I was practically lying. So I don't want to, call
Our girl Cardi B.
Justice Smollett a complete lie.
She's eating
But they
crab,
do
by the
claim
way,
that
when she
they
talks.
have evidence from both the brothers that they spoke. So
She said that he ruined Black History Month. That's. I was looking for that part, but I guess she messed it up.
So she's
but
based.
they didn't put my boy.
Yeah, she said he ruined Black History Month. That's what she said.
Well, I will say this: it's tough because if this does turn out to be something he manufactured, then it gives every one of those people, like the MAGA people and the Trump supporters, like, see, that's what we're talking about. Fake news. This is what everything is.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So this one incident, if it turns out to be false, is just, you'll never live it down. It defeated the whole purpose of it.
Right.
You know? And yeah, it's really shitty because you don't have to manufacture an attack because enough of those attacks actually happen all the time. But now it's going to be one of those things. See, Trump was right. This is all made up. It's all fucking liberals and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it's like, Jesus Christ, dude, you did so much harm with this.
Your boy was. Didn't you bring up something about your boy Trump?
Oh, so, luckily it doesn't look like we're going to have another shutdown, right? Because
Are we or not?
No, it doesn't look that way because he signed off on the budget. And the budget only gave him, I think, 1.6 billion of the 5 or 6 billion he was looking for his wall. That being said, he signed off on it, and then immediately after, he went and filed the paperwork for a national emergency. Now, what a national emergency does is it gives the president the right to divert any of the budget to places that he feels, is putting our nation into just severe, immediate danger, right? And, of course, Democrats and Republicans, a few Republicans, see this as a very scary thing. Like, they've only done national emergencies, like, I think 50 times since the National Emergency Act was incorporated in, I believe, like 1975, 1976. And it was all for major things, like, that need to get done now, hence emergency. We have an emergency. We need to take money from different places to take care of this emergency. So they kind of feel like he's backdooring this whole thing. And both sides of the aisle feel like this is dangerous because the reason Congress is there is to keep hold. Part of it is to determine how we spend things. They have the purse strings. So if they let Trump get away with doing this national emergency just to get something done he wants to get done without their approval, then any other president can come through and declare anything a national emergency just to get his hands on the wallet. So I think there was a clip, though, and I think this is from Seth Meyers, about how Trump approached how he was going to push through his national emergency agenda.
Elected as our president, an adult grandpa who has trouble forming coherent sentences. For example, during his press conference on Friday, Trump explained that he expected a protracted court challenge to his national emergency declaration, although it was less of an explanation and more of a sing-song ramble.
I'll sign the final papers as soon as I get into the Oval Office, and we will have a national emergency, and we will then be sued, and they will sue us in the Ninth Circuit, even though it shouldn't be there, and we will possibly get a bad ruling, and then we'll get another bad ruling, and then we'll end up in the Supreme Court, and hopefully we'll get a fair shake, and we'll win in the Supreme Court, just like the band. They sued us in the Ninth Circuit, and we lost, and then we lost in the appellate division, and then we went to the Supreme Court, and we won.
He sounds like a 5-year-old telling you what he saw at the zoo. And then we saw the monkeys, and they were eating bananas. And Todd said, we used to be apes. And I said, that's not true. And Todd said, yes, it is. And then a bird crapped on his head.
Dude, there just comes a point where you look and go, that man represents our entire country.
Dude, it's almost like he was lying, because that's what you do in your life. Like, so I was like just going to tell you something I don't know.
He sounds
too
like
much.
a 19-year-old girl that makes every statement she makes a question.
Like a valley
just
girl,
raises
man.
up. So like I went shopping.
Yeah,
And my dad bought me a car.
for real.
And I didn't want the car.
Oh, so ugly.
And then I cried.
Oh, you don't deserve it.
And then Brad was dating Amanda,
He's
but he
such
said
a jerk.
she wasn't dating
Ugh,
him,
I hate
and
her
now
face.
he wants to date me.
Of course he does.
That's our president, man. That's
Oh
that's the president of the United States right there. And he also brought up in that same conference, I believe, that he was he's very pleased to say that he was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, and apparently
You're starting to do it right now.
he was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, you just did it by accident.
I think we got into a rut. But, in my defense, I'm not the president of the fucking United States of America either. I'm a fucking comic. But, yeah, so he was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize by the Japanese Prime Minister. But it now turns out that the White House, meaning the president, had requested Japan to nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize like a year ago. So it's like, is it really it's almost like the guy who's like, man, I would really, really hate it if anyone threw me a surprise birthday party. And Seth Meyers pointed out, I don't think you're going to get the Nobel Peace Prize when you're backdooring your own government to build a wall to keep brown people out. There's no peace there. So the guy's just fucking ridiculous. And the sad thing is all these all the Democrats are coming out now, like who's going to run. And I think it's not looking good, unfortunately. I haven't seen one person, even Bernie Sanders threw his hat in the ring.
Yeah,
But
if Bernie goes, I'm going to say Trump's going to win again.
Right now, as sad as it is, I don't see a single Democrat contender that's, this country.
What happened to The Rock? I thought he was going to go for it.
Where's Oprah when you need her?
Yeah, what happened with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see someone that just makes it needs to be someone who can go in there and bully a bully, because that's what this is.
Yeah, that's what we want.
To.
We want like a fight of words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just don't see anyone right now. I won't say Trump has charisma, but his fan base enthusiastically supports him, and I don't see anyone from the Democrats right now that has that. It's sad that this is what it's turned into, but you really do need some kind of, I don't want to say reality. You need some kind of star power charisma. Like even Obama had charisma, he was fun to
He was
watch.
dapper.
Yeah. And I haven't seen them put forth anyone yet that's going to contend with that. And they're already picking away at everybody that comes in prepared to have your whole life, torn apart, examined. They're even saying that during Bernie Sanders' campaign, some people on his campaign committees, some females had come forth and said they were sexually harassed by other. But I'm sorry. I think anywhere you get men and young men, especially, and women together, there's gonna be flirtations and advances and stuff like that.
There's gonna be some like flirtations and sexual
harassment, and then they'll say they didn't. Then
it's
they'll
not
say
true.
they did. Then they'll say me too, and then they'll say you too.
All he needed was what's that vocal fry? That's what he needs.
That's
next.
I had to Google that. I didn't know what
You
that
didn't know
was.
what vocal fry was?
It's that cracking.
So I was like going to go to the Comedy Store and yeah, that's vocal fry.
So I don't know. And plus, what Trump has done is kind of made it like when the really shitty singer goes up at karaoke, and people who didn't want to do karaoke because they were embarrassed.
Okay.
They didn't think they had a shot. They didn't want to embarrass themselves and sing poorly. Then that really bad singer goes up, and the people in the audience are like, oh, I can do better than that. You
like
know?
comedy.
Yeah. And that's where we are now with presidential candidates
Oh, my
because
God.
Trump has really made everybody believe that anyone could be president. So everybody's just coming out of the woodworks. And it sucks because the more candidates we have, the more that's splitting, our support for one side. And people are going to be like, oh, my God, well, I'm out. I'm done. And I think, I mean, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but let's face it, this country loves two-term presidents.
Yeah, because they're going to believe he can do better for the next term.
They're like, a lot of people are like, well, he's already in there.
Well, it's one of those, like, he kind of learned his lessons and knows what to do now.
Nobody's saying that about Trump.
Oh, his people are.
No, because his people feel like he's never made a mistake.
Well, even if they're like, well, he did kind of
He's just getting into it. He spent most of his time battling this goddamn witch hunt about Russian collusion, which, okay, there was no Russian. Okay, maybe he talked, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that conversation.
I'm going to say, which Trump supporter are we going with?
Yeah, I would love to. How many times does he just get busted on shit that he said never happened and then just change it? Like, look, I never had sex with that lady. Okay, I had sex with that lady, but I never paid for sex with that lady. Okay, there was payment for sex with that lady, but I wasn't aware of it. Okay, I was aware of it, but it didn't come from campaign Okay, it came from campaign financing, but I wasn't happy with it, There's no Russian collusion. I never had any deals. Okay, I might have had a deal. Maybe a little deal. But there was no signed paper. Okay, there was a signed paper.
Look, I never had any collusions with Russia. Okay, maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I built hotels. That doesn't stop just because I'm a president.
Look, everything's in shambles. This is all just a witch hunt. CNN should be embarrassed for the fake news, and everything's going to go. He's going to go to Mar-a-Lago.
And then he was also talking about his supporters in the media, because he was saying most media sucks. But then he's like, I really like Rush Limbaugh. This is what he said. This is literally what he said. He's like, I really like Rush Limbaugh. He's got the biggest audience in the world.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Right.
And then he went on to say, he's like, and plus, he doesn't take calls. He just goes and talks for 3 hours without taking a call. Could you do that? Like, to people, he's just, I don't know who he was talking to. He's like, that's impressive. Could you do that? Not many people. Anyone can take a call. He just talks for 3 hours. I'm like, dude, come to any open mic. You will meet a ton of people who can talk well past the light without ever saying shit.
He doesn't take calls. I don't get it. I don't care.
You don't get it. Very smart, very intelligent.
Very
just
smart.
talks for 3
Very
hours.
smart.
You know who else did that? My grandfather when he got dementia right before he passed away.
Jesus. Way to bring the show down.
Way to bring the show down. I think talking about Trump for 10 minutes already brought it down.
True. We probably pissed off our couple fans there. So
all two of you. We're sorry, but you agree with us vehemently. I mean, hell, we talk about nothing without taking calls for an hour and a half easily, and we're not even, He would love our show.
Yeah, no shit.
And we could do another hour and a half if these cameras didn't cut out.
No, we couldn't.
Yeah, we could.
There's no way.
Dude, when we first started recording this, we were like, okay, that was 2 hours.
I went back on YouTube and watched the first episode.
Horrible, right?
And then the second, and then the third.
Horrible.
It's rough. It's
rough.
interesting.
And it hasn't gotten any better.
No. It's funny because you see like the emptiness of the room too.
Mm-hmm.
Like all this shit that we have here, like it was just an empty wall. It looked dead in here.
Well, I think our first one we were actually using your community center. So
right,
it was
that
big,
one was
like,
even that one.
I don't think we released our first one or two.
Oh, it's up. No, we lost one at the Improv.
Yep.
And then that was the one that you
we
wanted.
didn't turn the mics on.
We didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Yeah, but turning the mics on seems like a.
We didn't know what the hell. No, we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Yeah,
and then we messed up in the
conference center. I don't think we messed up. I think it was just.
It was just really bad. But we put it out. It's episode 1 on YouTube.
I thought I had vetoed that one. I was like,
dude, it's there.
God damn it. I was like, let's not put that up.
No, it's up. Wait, you got to archive it, man. You have to. Why?
It was horrible.
But that's the fun part, isn't it?
It hasn't gotten any better, I'll tell you that.
Nah, I mean, hold up. I want to show you. Episode.
Should we do this off air?
No. It's just, look at that.
We were young and our hearts wasn't open.
Oh, well, damn. Well, I mean, you still got time? We still what?
I almost wore that shirt tonight.
You get the same shirt on you had when the first podcast.
I almost wore that. That's the Spider-Man shirt. I almost wore it tonight. I switched up to this.
Yeah, we even titled it, we started from the bottom, now we're here. What the F?
Oh, no. We started from the bottom and we're still here, I think, right?
We started from the bottom, now we are here. Yeah, we're here. Yeah. Second try, and then we stopped even naming episode. We're just like, episode 5. And then we started naming them, and then we started putting covers, and then it's a whole beast now. Now we're on 53 episodes. Freaking nuts.
Years from now, people will look back and be like, you remember that podcast?
You remember that podcast that they stole from those gamer kids, that the gamer kids claimed that they stole it from?
Yeah, we had some beef.
We have beef with other
beef right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate, we have beef with people.
We should send them a mug still.
We just send them
as soon as we get some magnets.
A magnet. We should send them a magnet.
As soon as we get some merch. I want an Obligatory Podcast t-shirt.
I do too.
All right. Hey, if you're one of our 30 listeners and you would also like an Obligatory Podcast t-shirt, go ahead, write us.
Yeah.
Tell us how much you'd pay.
How much would you pay for an Obligatory Podcast shirt? Obligatory t-shirt.
That's right.
I want one, though. I need to get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
So you got anything else, man?
I got a show this Friday here in Ocoee.
Ocoee?
Ocoee?
Yeah.
For Ali Flores. It's called the Dragonfly.
Dragonfly Studio. Yeah, I'm out there next month. I'm closing
and
it out.
I'll probably be there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's this Friday. So that's it. That's all I got planned.
Cool, man.
And that's it.
Cool. Well, just to recap, not that it helps you, but I'll be hosting the open mic Wednesday night at the Orlando Improv. Then Thursday I'll be at Francesco's in Somerville, Florida by the Villages. And that's about it from me this week.
Okay.
That's all I got.
I thought you were going to say something else.
I'll probably shoot some more hours with the kids and be done with it.
Right on, Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, this is episode 53, Obligatory Podcast with Kermit and Myke. Make sure you check us out.
Yeah,
subscribe.
We working out tonight?
Yeah, let's go do it.
All right, cool, because I brought my stuff.
The lube? Wait, what?
What the fuck?
All right, that was episode 53.
All right.
We'll see you guys later.
Freak.
Adios, and talk to you later.